I would like to take the opportunity and thank to a number of people. Nothing will happen in ISTA, no matter what will be the goals or challenges that we'll tackle, without the dedicated work of the people in the Secretariat that work together with me. I also want to thank to the members of the technical committees. ISTA will be nothing without their work, because they are the people that put in the work and the thoughts and come up with the different rules and solutions to problems that pop up along the way. Of course, I want to thank to the Executive Committee for their support and leadership, and finally to the membership as a whole. Without having these members and without having the annual meetings and their votes, we would not be what we are today. Thank you.
Benny, thanks for sitting down with me today. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
In July, you were appointed the Secretary General of the International Seat Testing Association. Can you tell me a little bit about the position and why you're so excited to be the new Secretary General?
Well, I think that the most exciting part here is that I feel that it is something that benefits, or it's work toward the general good rather than particular, more restricted benefits of this company or the other. Mm-hmm. I think that as a society, we need the services that ISTA is providing.
Is there any particular goals you have set for yourself?
Well, yes, I do. I should qualify and say that any goals that I can list here are, you know, I can't do them on my own. I will have to have the support and approval of our executive committee. So I'm working basically more than anything in their behalf, so we need to have agreement on those things. But what I came with as goals, it's maybe are kind of hard to divide because they're overlapping and one leads to the other. But generally speaking, I think that ISTA, and I'm familiar with ISTA for a good number of years now because I was representing Pioneer there. I think that generally speaking, ISTA is at the point that it needs to redefine itself. Historically, this is an association that was exclusively made out of government laboratories and regulators. I think we need to redefine ourselves as an association of the whole seed world, and that includes more academy, that includes industry. So this is maybe one goal, and it is associated, or it is leading to the second one, which is growth. To be able to do many of the things that we would like to do, and you can go and look at our scope and objective and so forth. To be able to achieve all those goals, we have to have a little more volume, a little more financial sound base, and that will enable us to actually be able to do the things that we're saying that we need to do. So to grow, there's plenty of room to grow. We are today 210 or 210 laboratories, and there is a lot of room of growth in the industry, for example, that up till now, industry does participate. We have industry laboratories as members and accredited laboratories, but I think there is room for much more there. And then for world coverage, we have places like Latin or Central America that there is very much a lot of room to grow there. We have very few laboratories relative to the total number of laboratories in these geographies. India will be another place. So we have. I would like to see an effort, or I will try to push for an effort to growth in these places. And once we achieve that, then we can do things that part of them we already do, and that is education, but we can do it in a more significant way. One of the conceptual changes that I think we need to go through is that for a long time, or for years, when something new would come, we will hesitate to take upon it because out of consideration to, for example, laboratories in developing countries that cannot afford things like that. So basically, we went their way or got to their level instead of trying to bring them up to where everybody needs to be. So this kind of thing, and in most of this kind of effort includes a number of components. One of them is education. So we'll be able to do more in this regard. And then there is research. I think that research and development for the goal of creating better, smarter, more closer to the edge testing technologies is very scarce. There are very few people or places that are engaged in that. And I think it is our role to be able to, do that. And again, to be able to do that, we need the money and we need the skill. And I hope that the growth that I'm talking about will enable that. So I don't know how many goals you counted here, but I think there are about the right number.
Perfect. Benny, what do you see as the most, in your opinion, the most pertinent issue that's facing the seed industry right now, and how do we best tackle it?
Well, I think it is still biotechnology. So that's really what brought me to ISTA. And it's a very difficult and touchy and delicate topic to deal with, from my perspective now as in this position, because we should not and cannot have a position on the general question if biotechnology is good or biotechnology is not. We have the advantage that we can always go to the technical level. And in this respect, I think that this is really the best way to deal with biotechnology, not only for us, but for many others. And that is to talk about testing. Because it makes no difference if you are a regulator that is testing for compliance, or if you are a seed company that is testing as quality assurance. Both sides need testing. So testing is our thing, and I think that at the moment, anything about GMO testing and anything about the introduction of these new biotechnology crops is still the biggest challenge that the seed world as a whole is facing.
Right. Can you tell me why seed testers around the globe should and would want to be members of ISTA, and then maybe pluck off for me the number one thing, the number one benefit that an individual or an organization would find in becoming a member of ISTA?
Well, I'll start with actually a higher point than an organization or individual. The whole system, the seed world, if you will, benefits or is benefiting from ISTA because, as you can see on our logo, our slogan is uniformity in testing. So I think the number one thing that we bring to the seed world is this uniformity in testing that is a very important enabler, more than anything else, seed threat. So when you test a seed, when you test a seed lot somewhere in, in India, and you send it to another place in the world, and they are both having the same language as far as the way that the testing is done, the way that the results of the test are being expressed on an ISTA certificate. It's a language. It's a language, and this language enables communication throughout all the people that are dealing with or are associated with seed trade or seed movement altogether. For individuals or organizations, it is the networking. It is way more efficient to sit down in a technical committee and or ISTA technical committee, and tackle a certain challenge, how to deal with germination problems, or how to do this seed health test, pathology test, or the other pathology test, and everybody contributes. You have all the heads there. It goes beyond competition among companies. It goes beyond borders of countries. Everybody sits there, deals with the actual problem, and finds a solution. And then you, as an ISTA member, you have this solution available to you. So that, I think, is a big advantage, and it is altogether very efficient. If each one of those people would have to tackle these problems by itself, it would have been a different world now. So I think that is the most important, the most important thing that we're bringing.
Great. So Benny, as I understand it, born in Romania, grew up in Israel, worked for years in the U.S., now based in Switzerland. How does that diverse background impact on your work at ISTA now?
Well, I'm not sure. So I think it makes it easier for me to relate to everybody, and maybe vice versa. It's much easier to others to relate to me, because for some they like to see me as European, for others I'm American, and for others I'm Israeli, and so forth. But I think that more important is actually the fact that scientifically I have a diverse background as well. Started as a zoologist, did population genetics, molecular biology, molecular genetics. I think that this wide scientific background and the fact that in some of these disciplines you have to update yourself all the time, which is very much like what I have to do now again in ISTA, because frankly, there are subject matters of some technical committees that I still don't know much about. So I think that this diverse background helped me, and the fact that along the years I had to learn, keep on learning. Now in ISTA it's a continuation of this, so that's how.
Perfect. So it sounds like you've got a comprehensive plan and lots of goals set up for the association, and maybe one of the key ingredients in there is bringing the most intelligent, the best people to the table to have these conversations. If that's going to happen, correct me if I'm wrong, but industry needs to be involved in that.
Yep.
How do we get industry more involved in the seed testing, internationally on the seed testing level, and why do you think it is important to have them at the table?
So let me start with the latter, because it's easier. Why is it need to be at the table? I think that with the onset of biotechnology, the evolution is such that you cannot talk agriculture without talking about biotechnology. And biotechnology up to date is industry. Now this goes beyond the argument or the whole discussion about biotechnology. You have places like in Europe, which biotechnology is not that accepted. You have other places like the US, Canada, Brazil, that biotechnology is big part is already agriculture. So biotechnology is a fact. And biotechnology means industry, period. So if we want to be part or want to represent or want to help the whole seed world, we have to bring industry in. Now, how to bring them in? I'll be glad if you'll have a formula for that. So right now we have discussion with many members of the industry, and I'm trying to show them the fact that they will benefit by contributing to us. I mean, it's not that they're contributing to an association. At the end of the day, what we bring to the seed world, they are actually the bigger benefactors. And sometimes you need to break this down into change. And I think that these discussions are actually coming ahead in a very positive way. and I hope that we'll have big news anytime soon. Obviously, some of these things, to be able to make membership more attractive to industry, we have to do some adjustments in some of our membership category, one category basically, and this is something that we'll have to have being backed up by the executive committee, which so far is very supportive, but will have to be voted in by the membership as well.
Right.
So nothing will happen without everybody agreeing on that, or at least the majority.
Right.
But I think that it's going into the right direction. And as you said, I can't wait, because industry will bring a lot of skill. I think that historically we showed, we being people that came from the industry and were involved in ISTA activities, I think we demonstrated how much value we bring, and I'm sure that there are many more people there that I can't wait to tap into their skills, and we need their money. Simple as that.
Absolutely, it's the truth.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the world we live in.
It is. Thank you very much for sitting down with me today and sharing the story. I appreciate it a lot.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
We will talk soon again.
Thank you.